Stress is a conscious or unconscious psychological feeling or physical situation which comes after as a result of physical and or mental positive or negative pressure to overwhelm adaptive capacities.
Stress is a psychological process initiated by events that threaten, harm, or challenge an organism or that exceed available coping resources and is characterized by psychological responses that are directed towards adaptation. Excess stress can manifest itself in a variety of emotional, behavioral, and even physical symptoms, and the symptoms of stress vary enormously among different individuals. Common somatic physical symptoms often reported by those experiencing excess stress include sleep disturbances, muscle tension, muscle aches, headache, gastro disturbances, and fatigue.
Emotional and behavioral symptoms that can accompany excess stress include nervousness, anxiety, changes in eating habits including overeating, loss of enthusiasm or energy, and mood changes like irritability and depression. Of course, none of these signs or symptoms means for certain that there is an elevated stress level, since all of these symptoms can be caused by other medical and or psychological conditions.
He doesn't anticipate that
The
there will be
whip.
$12,000, but there could potentially be less than that or more than that. And so I think that he intended for the mother to have this trust. I also think that the family is really trying to not want to, but
Oh my god! Why can't I start it?
What do you think it'll take to get the paparazzi to leave you alone?
I don't know. I don't know.
Is that one of your biggest wishes?
Yeah. It's okay. I would like for them to leave me alone.
If you could talk to them as individuals, not as a group, what would you say to them?
I would just say that you have babies at home, and you have a life, and if you don't, you have to realize that we're people, and that we just need privacy, and we need our respect, and those are things that you have to have as a human.
And yet, as upset as it makes you, you wouldn't trade your life now, it seems. That seems strange for some people to understand. If they're making you this miserable, how can you still say, but I'm lucky?
Because I have to believe that I'm here for a reason.
What's the reason?
I don't know. I keep searching every day, just like you do. But I'm so blessed with my baby. That's the happiest thing that's ever, it's like a miracle.
Dramatic scenes as a police escort takes singer Britney Spears to hospital. She was driven by ambulance from her home in Los Angeles to the UCLA Medical Center for a mental evaluation. Earlier this month, the 26-year-old was admitted to hospital after refusing to surrender custody of her two sons in a standoff with the police. The star was released from the Cedars Center after a day and a half, but the details of her medical treatment weren't revealed. The singer's rarely been out of the public eye in recent months. She lost custody of her two children after a judge handed ex-husband Kevin Federline sole rights. It's been a spectacular fall from grace for the girl from Louisiana who shot to worldwide fame in 1998. Since then, she's gone on to sell a massive 83 million records worldwide.
The 5 R's of stress reduction. Recognition of the causes and sources of the threat or distress through education and conscious raising. Relationships identified for support, help, and reassurance.
Removal from or of the threat or stressor, managing the stimulus. Relaxation through techniques such as meditation, massage, breathing exercises, or imagery. Re-engagement through managed re-exposure and desensitization.
The term anxiety covers 4 aspects of experiences an individual may have: mental apprehension, physical tension, physical symptoms, and dissociative anxiety.
Anxiety disorder is divided into generalized anxiety, phobic, and panic disorders. Each has its own characteristics and symptoms, and they require different treatment. The emotions present in anxiety disorders range from simple nervousness to bouts of terror.
Symptoms include restlessness or a feeling of being keyed up or on the edge, being easily fatigued, having difficulty concentrating or a sense of your mind going blank, irritability, muscle tension, and having difficulty sleeping.
Other physical symptoms associated with generalized anxiety disorder include trembling, twitching, muscle soreness, headaches, sweating or chills, nausea or dizziness, shortness of breath, diarrhea, irritable bowel syndrome, being easily startled. People with generalized anxiety disorder may also experience depression at some point.
Compulsive disorder takes the form of repeated unwanted thoughts or compulsive behaviors that seem impossible to stop or control. But at least these symptoms are very specific. With generalized anxiety disorder, the worry is constant and never-ending.
I couldn't stop the feeling of persistent anxiety. It got so that I couldn't sleep. I guess all my life I was an anxious person. I would worry about my health even though I was perfectly healthy. But then it got to where I was worrying about my job or my kids or money, even though there was no reason to be worrying about those things. But what really made it bad was when I started to have physical symptoms as a result of the worrying, like stomach aches and intense headaches.
I'd worry about getting older and how much longer is my heart going to live and how much more can I take. I would get a pain somewhere and I say, oh, what's this coming on now? And I say, you're way too long. There may be something there I might have. What everyone seems to have in common here is they felt alone. I can tell you how I felt. I thought I was the only one in the world who had this thing, and I thought I could never tell anybody what I was going through. Fortunately for me, while I was hosting a show called Biggers and Summers on Lifetime, the featured guest was a doctor who was an expert on OCD. Last night, as I was going through notes, I couldn't read the material. I couldn't do it because it brought so many things to the surface. And we talked before the show about OCD, and this is something that I have. To what extent, I'm not sure. That was the very first time I realized that I had a treatable illness.
My husband finally made me go see a psychiatrist because nothing was working. And she was the one who finally told me that what I had was generalized anxiety disorder, which actually is an illness. And it made me feel better just to be able to put a name to it. She prescribed medication, and within basically a short period of time, my anxiety was under control.
This was the final moment that I had a number to call. I'd been holding on to the number for a while, hoping that I could make it through myself, and I couldn't. And I called an organization called Freedom from Fear. There was a lovely woman on the telephone who set up an appointment with me to come right in. I had an evaluation.
and I felt more relaxed, less tension.
Manage anxiety triggers. The way your body reacts to anxiety over time can become a learned response, but there are things you can do to help change your responses. 1. Take time every day to reflect. Concentrate on what's really going on in your life and not what might happen. Then do your best to let your worries go for the rest of your day. 2. Prepare yourself through visualization. Picture yourself fully in the situation that triggers your anxiety disorder symptoms. Now imagine yourself feeling safe and comfortable and successfully handling what you've been avoiding. Over time, you may develop more confidence facing these triggers.
Change your health habits. Replacing bad health habits with positive ones can help keep stress at bay. Avoid stimulants. These include caffeine, found in coffee, tea, and cola drinks, nicotine, illicit drugs, and certain prescription over-the-counter medication. Steer clear of sedating drugs and alcohol. They may seem like they calm you, but in reality, they can be self-defeating. Get some regular exercise. Studies show that it may have a calming effect and improve sleep as long as it's done at least 5 hours before bedtime. Help yourself sleep better. Eliminate noise and light and make sure your bedroom is a comfortable temperature.
Relaxation and coping strategies. Symptoms of anxiety disorders don't disappear overnight. In addition to medication or talk therapy, your doctor may suggest helpful changes to minimize your anxiety symptoms. Some of these include yoga and other relaxation methods, dietary and other lifestyle improvements, and coping skills. Yeah. Stressful agents said that they could be physical, psychological. What?
Did you say stressful Asians?
Stressful agents could be physical.